Hello, mathematicians. Today we're going to be learning about numerical expressions, more specifically about order of operations. To get us started, let's first go over what a numerical expression is. So a numerical expression is a combination of numbers, symbols, and math operations like adding, subtracting, multiplying, or dividing that together show a value. So here we have 4 plus 5 times 9. And our operations here are addition and multiplication. Next, we have 3 squared minus 1 plus 6. And here we have an exponent, we have subtraction, and we have addition. Next, we have 12 divided by 3 times 2. And here we have division and multiplication. So to evaluate a numerical expression means to calculate or figure out the answer by performing the math operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division in the right order. So we can't always just go from left to right when we're solving these expressions. There are certain operations that need to be done before other operations. So let's go over the order of operations. PEMDAS is an acronym that helps you remember the order of operations when solving math problems. It tells you which part of the math problem to solve first, second, and so on. So let's go over what PEMDAS stands for. The P in PEMDAS stands for parentheses. So first, we're going to solve anything inside the parentheses or brackets. E stands for exponents. Next, we're going to solve any exponents like squares, cubes, or other powers. The M and the D stand for multiplication and division. After the parentheses and exponents, do multiplication and division. We're going to work from left to right and do whichever one comes first. So if division comes before multiplication, that's okay. We're going to do that first. For multiplication or division, it just depends on whichever one of those two comes first. A and S stand for addition and subtraction. Finally, we're going to do addition and subtraction. We're going to also work from left to right and do whichever one comes first. So it doesn't matter if addition comes first or subtraction comes first. We're going to do whichever one of those two comes first in this step. Here we have an example, and our numerical expression is 24 divided by 2 cubed times, in parentheses we have 6 plus 2, then minus 10 plus 5. And we're going to solve this expression using order of operations. In order to help us, we're going to use our acronym PEMDAS. In our acronym, the first letter we have is P for parentheses, which means first we're going to solve anything inside parentheses or brackets. I rewrote our expression so that we could clearly see what we have inside of our parentheses by making it blue. And in our parentheses, we have 6 plus 2, so we're going to go ahead and solve that first. 6 plus 2 is equal to 8, so we're going to substitute the 6 plus 2 for 8. Now, we don't do anything else with the rest of our expression just yet. So all I did was rewrite it. We have 24 divided by 2 cubed times 8 minus 10 plus 5. Next, in our acronym, we have E for exponent. And next, we're going to solve any exponents like squares, cubes, or other powers. And in this case, we have 2 cubed. And 2 cubed is equal to 2 times 2 times 2. And we know that 2 times 2 is 4, times another 2 is 8. So 2 cubed is equal to 8. So we're going to substitute 2 cubed for 8. And then we're going to just rewrite the rest of the expression exactly as is. So now we have 24 divided by 8 times 8 minus 10 plus 5. Next, in our acronym, we have M and D. And the reason why I put them together is because we're going to do whichever one comes first from left to right. So it doesn't matter if multiplication comes first or division comes first. We're going to do whichever one comes first. And in this case, we do have both multiplication and division. But division comes first if we read it from left to right. And so we're going to go ahead and divide first. So 24 divided by 8 is equal to 3. So we're going to substitute that for 3. And then we still have multiplication. So we're going to go ahead and multiply. 3 times 8 is equal to 24. And once I've substituted the 3 times 8 for the 24, we're going to rewrite the rest of the expression as is. So now we have 24 minus 10 plus 5. Finally, we have A and S in our acronym, and it stands for addition and subtraction. Just like multiplication and division, whichever one comes first is what we do first. So we have 24 minus 10 plus 5, and because subtraction comes first, we're going to go ahead and subtract first. 24 minus 10 is equal to 14, and then 14 plus 5 is equal to 19. That means that 24 divided by 2 cubed times, in parentheses, 6 plus 2, then minus 10 plus 5 is equal to 19. Here we have another example. In parentheses, we have 8 plus 2, then times 5, divided by, in parentheses, we have 10 minus 5, then plus 3 minus 6. And again, we're going to use order of operations to help us solve this expression. And we'll also be using PEMDAS to help us figure out what to do first. So using our acronym PEMDAS, P comes first, so we're first going to solve anything inside parentheses. In this case, we have 2 sets of parentheses, so we're going to work on both of those. And what I did was rewrite the expression, and in blue, you could clearly see what we have inside of our parentheses. In our first set, we have 8 plus 12, and 8 plus 12 is equal to 20. So we're going to substitute that for 20. Then, in our second pair of parentheses, we have 10 minus 5, and 10 minus 5 is 5, so we're going to substitute that for 5. And because those were our only 2 sets of parentheses, we're not going to do anything else yet. So now our new expression is 20 times 5 divided by 5 plus 3 minus 6. The next thing on our acronym is E for exponents. So we're going to see if we have any exponents, and in this case we do not. So we're going to go ahead and skip that step. Next, we're going to look for multiplication and division. And in this case, we have both multiplication and division. So for multiplication and division, remember that whichever one comes first is what we do first. And in this case, multiplication comes first, so we're going to do 20 times 5 first. And 20 times 5 is equal to 100. And then we have 100 divided by 5, and 100 divided by 5 is equal to 20. Remember to rewrite the rest of the expression as is. So now our new expression is 20 plus 3 minus 6. Finally, we have A and S for addition and subtraction. And just like multiplication and division, remember that we're doing this from left to right. Doesn't matter if addition comes first or subtraction, we do whichever one comes first. And in this case, addition comes first, so we're going to do 20 plus 3 first, and we get 23, And then 23 minus 6 is equal to 17. So that means that 8 plus 2 in parentheses times 5 divided by 10 minus 5 in parentheses plus 3 minus 6 is equal to 17. Here we have another example. And in parentheses, we have 2 plus 2 times 4, and that's all raised to the power of 2, and then divided by 25. We'll be using order of operations again, and our acronym PEMDAS to help us evaluate this expression. So to start us off, we have P4 parentheses. And in blue, you'll notice that I have everything that is inside of our parentheses. We have quite a bit going on because we have addition and multiplication. However, within the parentheses, we still have to apply order of operations, and PEMDAS tells us that we need to multiply before we add. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 times 4 first, and that equals 8. So we're going to substitute that for 8. Now we could go ahead and add, and 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. So we're going to go ahead and substitute for 10. Now our new expression is 10 squared divided by 25. Next, we're going to focus on our exponents. So we only have 10 to the power of 2, or we could read that as 10 squared. And 10 squared means 10 times 10. So 10 squared is equal to 100. So now our new expression is 100 divided by 25. Next, we have multiplication and division. And our problem only has division, so we're going to go ahead and divide. 100 divided by 25 is equal to 4. Remember that if we did have multiplication and division, we would just do whatever comes first in our expression. So we work from left to right. And then finally, there's addition and subtraction. Now, we've already evaluated our expression completely, so there's no more addition or subtraction that we could do. But remember back, we did have addition. It was inside of our parentheses, but because we had to work on it first, we no longer have any more addition, and we do not have subtraction at all. So that means that 2 plus 2 times 4 inside of the parentheses, all raised to the power of 2, divided by 25 is equal to 4. Here we have our final example, which is 8 times 3 plus 6 divided by 2 minus, and then inside parentheses, we have 5 squared minus 21. Now we're also going to use order of operations to help us evaluate this expression with the help of our acronym PEMDAS. So to get us started, we have P4 parentheses. And notice that I made everything in our parentheses blue to help us better focus on what we need to do first. We do have a couple things going on in our parentheses, which are our exponent and subtraction. Please remember that within our parentheses, we still have to follow order of operations. So we're going to do the exponent first because our acronym PEMDAS tells us that our exponent comes before subtraction. So 5 squared is equal to 25. So we're going to substitute 5 squared for 25. Now we could go ahead and subtract, and 25 minus 21 is equal to 4. And notice that we're just going to rewrite the rest of the expression as we see it. So now we have 8 times 3 plus 6 divided by 2 minus 4. Next thing we're going to do is look for any exponents, and we don't have any other exponent other than the one that was already inside of our parentheses and the one we already dealt with. Next, we have multiplication and division. Remember that it does not matter which one comes first, we're going to work on it from left to right. So in this case, we have 8 times 3, which is first, and that is 24. And then we have 6 divided by 2, which is 3, so we're going to substitute both of those. Finally, we're looking at addition and subtraction. And in this case, we do have both addition and subtraction. And remember, it does not matter which one comes first. We're just going to work on it from left to right. So we're going to add first. 24 plus 3 is equal to 27. And then we subtract 4. So 27 minus 4 is equal to 23. So that means that 8 times 3 plus 6 divided by 2 minus, and then in parentheses, 5 squared minus 21 is equal to 23. And that's it.